You see runners everywhere, right? Out on the streets, parks, pushing themselves. But do you ever think about what's really going on there beyond just the exercise?
Exactly. Because often there's this whole other layer, isn't there? A story that's, well, much deeper than just counting miles.
Yeah, like this rhythm, this movement, it might be telling a story of, I don't know, courage or healing.
Or memory, or even love.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we wanted to dig into today. We've been looking at some, frankly, amazing stories that show how running becomes
Yeah.
this window into the human experience.
Totally. And we pulled out 4 key ones from the material. There's Kathrine Switzer. Her run basically blew the doors open for women in marathons.
hmm Then there's a really moving story about a veteran using running to cope with PTSD.
Right. And Terry Fox, of course. The Marathon of Hope across Canada. Just iconic.
Absolutely. And finally, Team Hoyt, that father and son duo who completely changed how we think about endurance sports and disability.
So the idea here, our sort of mission for this deep dive, is to look at these stories running as therapy, as rebellion, remembrance, love.
And connect them back to what we're learning scientifically about running's effect, on the mind, the spirit. How does this simple thing do so much?
And the sources we have mix these really personal accounts with some of the science behind it all. The psychology, the neurochemistry should be fascinating.
Definitely. Okay, where should we start? Maybe with that barrier-breaking moment.
Yeah, let's do it. Kathrine Switzer.
Mhm.
We need to picture the scene. 1967 Boston Marathon.
And back then, the official line was basically, women can't run marathons. They weren't allowed to compete officially.
It sounds wild now, doesn't it? But that was the reality. So Kathrine Switzer, she finds this workaround.
Right. She registers as KV Switzer.
Just initials.
Exactly. And the officials, they assumed KV was a man. So you guess her number, she's in the race.
Okay, so she starts running, and then what happens?
Well, a few miles in, one of the race officials spots her, realizes she's a woman, and he actually tries to physically, grab her and pull her out of the race.
No way. While she's running.
Yeah, tries to rip her numbers off.
Yeah.
I mean, the photos are famous. It's quite aggressive.
Wow. Just imagine being in the middle of a marathon, pushing your limits, and someone attacks you like that. What does she do?
She kept going. Her running partner, Tom Miller, actually shoved the official away, defended her. And she persevered. She finished the whole thing.
That is incredible resilience.
It really is. And that moment, that act of just refusing to be removed, it blew up, made headlines everywhere.
Sparked a huge conversation,
Yeah.
right, about women in sports, women's capabilities.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just talk. The impact was real. Within 5 years, women were officially allowed to run the Boston Marathon.
So her run wasn't just personal achievement. It was, like you said, rebellion, pushing back against what society said she couldn't do.
Precisely. And, thinking about the science connection here, running itself might have helped her in that moment.
How so?
Well, we know running releases endorphins, endocannabinoids,
Yeah.
these chemicals that reduce stress, boost mood, maybe even increase resilience. It's plausible that the physical act itself helped her, mentally and emotionally push through that intense pressure.
So the body and mind working together against the external challenge.
Kind of, yeah. And think about the ripple effect. Her story, seeing that happen, must have empowered so many other women to challenge their own limits, in sports and beyond.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's breaking external barriers. Let's shift to internal ones. The veteran's story, John.
Right. This story really gets at running as therapy.
Hmm.
John's a military veteran, and he was really struggling. PTSD symptoms, flashbacks, insomnia, anxiety, just constant.
That sounds incredibly tough. So how did running come into the picture?
Someone suggested he try it.
Yeah.
And look, his first run wasn't easy at all. It was probably physically hard, emotionally draining.
I can imagine. Where do you even start?
But something happened during that run. He described these moments, just brief, where his mind felt clearer, quieter.
Like a little break from the noise.
Exactly. Even if it was temporary, that little bit of relief was huge. It was enough to make him think, okay, maybe there's something here.
So he kept going.
He did. One run turned into regular running, and gradually things started to shift. He noticed his anxiety wasn't quite as intense, and importantly, he started sleeping a bit better.
That's significant progress.
Huge. And then there was another piece that really helped. He joined a running group specifically for veterans.
Oh, interesting. Community.
Yes, that support network, running with others who understood, who had shared experiences,
Oh,
that was vital. It wasn't just the running itself anymore, it was the connection.
That makes so much sense. Healing often involves community, doesn't it? So running became more than just exercise for him.
Much more. It became a tool, a pathway to managing the PTSD, a way to feel maybe a bit more free from those symptoms.
And there's science backing this up too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Loads of research shows aerobic exercise, like running, can calm the brain's stress circuits. It can boost neurotransmitters involved in mood, like serotonin.
Right, the stuff that makes you feel better.
Exactly. And it demonstrably improves sleep. So for people like John, it's not just about fitness. It's really about reclaiming mental and emotional well-being.
It's a powerful example. Okay, so from personal healing, let's go to, well, a national movement. Terry Fox.
Ah, Terry Fox, yeah. An incredible story. He was just 21, a cancer survivor himself, had lost his leg to the disease.
And in 1980, he decides he's going to do something, well, almost unthinkable.
Right. Run across Canada. Not just run, but run basically a marathon.
Yeah.
Every single day.
On a prosthetic leg.
On a prosthetic leg. His goal, to raise money for cancer research. He called it the Marathon of Hope.
That name just says it all, the sheer determination.
It's mind-blowing. He ran for 143 days straight, covered over 5,000 kilometers. Think about the physical toll.
From pain.
But he kept going. Until, tragically, the cancer came back and spread. He had to stop his run near Thunder Bay, Ontario.
And he passed away not long after, didn't he?
Yeah, the following year. But what he started,
Wow.
it just exploded. He'd aimed to raise $1 for every Canadian. He achieved that before he even died.
And the legacy, it's huge.
Massive. The annual Terry Fox Run happens all over the world now. And they've raised, get this, over $850 million for cancer research.
Wow. $850 million. That's staggering.
It really is. His personal mission, born from his own suffering, became this enormous collective force for good.
It's such a clear example of running as remembrance, but also as action, as altruism, keeping his fight going.
Absolutely. And there's something interesting psychologically there, too. Doing something altruistic, participating in something bigger than yourself, like the Terry Fox one, research shows that boosts our sense of purpose, connection, well-being.
So it benefits the cause and it benefits the participants too.
Exactly. Terry's run became this incredible symbol of hope, resilience, not just for Canada, but globally.
Truly inspiring. Okay, one more story that really highlights connection. Team Hoyt.
Ah, yes. Dick and Rick Hoyt. Another really powerful one. Rick was born with cerebral palsy, couldn't walk or speak.
Right. And there was this key moment using some communication technology.
Yeah. Rick managed to tell his dad, Dick, something profound. He said that when they were running Dick, pushing him in a special chair, he felt like his disability disappeared. He felt free.
Wow. Just hearing that from your son, what did Dick do?
Well, he listened, and he committed. He started pushing Rick in races, not just short ones.
No, they went big, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Marathons, triathlons, even the Ironman. Together, as Team Hoyt, they completed over 1,000 races.
1,000, including Ironmans. That's unbelievable endurance from Dick, pushing Rick the whole way.
Incredible dedication. And what they did, it wasn't just about their personal achievements. It completely challenged what people thought was possible for individuals with disabilities in sports.
They really shifted perceptions.
Hugely. They became icons of determination, inclusivity, and frankly, just pure love. Their story helped open doors for so many other disabled athletes around the world.
It really embodies running as an expression of that deep family bond, doesn't it? A father literally enabling his son's feeling of freedom.
Totally. And from a psychological standpoint, family stories are so important. They shape who we are, strengthen bonds, build resilience. Think about their shared story running together, overcoming challenges together. That became central to their identity, to their relationship.
Yeah, you can see how powerful that would be. And that quote from Rick, "When I'm running, I feel like my disability disappeared."
It just hits you, right? It's just so much about what movement can mean. It's not always about speed or distance. Sometimes it's about liberation, transcendence.
Exactly. So looking back at these 4 stories, Switzer's rebellion, the veteran's recovery, Terry Fox's remembrance, Team Hoyt's love.
They're all so different, yet they all point to this same core idea. Running is so much more than just putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, it gets tangled up with our identity, our resilience, how we connect with others. It's deeply personal.
And that's really the key thing for you listening, I think. Your own running story, or maybe it's walking or cycling, whatever your movement is, it matters to.
Right. Whether you're running through grief or chasing a goal or just finding some quiet time for yourself.
That experience, your reasons, your feelings, They're all part of this bigger human picture. It's significant.
So maybe the next time you're out there moving, whatever that looks like for you, just take a second. Think about your own running story. What's driving you? What's the narrative unfolding with each step?
Yeah. What's your movement saying? It's kind of a fascinating question to carry with